Hey y'all, welcome to Barlow BBQ. Glad you're here. Hey, do you like whiskey? Do you like baby back ribs? Do you like some heat? If you do, you're gonna dig these baby back ribs with a whiskey ghost pepper glaze. And we're gonna do that up on the Weber Kettle Grill. It's gonna be good, y'all. Stick around. All right, guys, I'm back here with my Weber Kettle Grill, and that's what we're going to use today to barbecue those baby back ribs. I'm going to run this about 300 degrees or more, but don't worry, as my friend Rich over at Rich's River Smokers, West Virginia likes to say, meat don't know what temperature it's being cooked at. So I think it'll be fine. It's going to work great on the ribs. Now the first thing though we need to do is season the ribs up and get those ready to go on the grill. I've got a 3.5 pound rack of baby back ribs right here. I did a slight bit of trimming on these, but on the back I did remove the membrane that runs down here. That's something you're going to want to do. I thought I'd spare you the optics on those, but do that, okay? Now this rub I put together, it's got brown sugar, salt, pepper, onion powder, mustard powder, lots of great stuff, and I did add some smoked Carolina Reaper, ground smoked Carolina Reaper to this, okay? And we're gonna go ahead and hit this up. It's windy out here, so it's blowing everywhere. It's a typical problem here in North Carolina. All right, those ribs are looking good. They're all seasoned up, ready to go on the grill. Now that recipe that I used for the rub, I got that from my friend Kent over at Daddy Dutch Barbecue and Cooking. Now he's a new channel and he sure would appreciate some love, so I want you to go over there, check him out, subscribe, and tell him Barlow sent you. And Kent, I want to thank you for this rub. I asked him if he had a good recipe for pork, and this is what he shared with me. I'll have the recipe for it right down below in the description box. But listen, I did adapt it just a little bit, so it's not completely his original recipe, but nonetheless, Kent, love you, man, and go check him out, all right? Let's get this going. All right, guys, the charcoal is ready, so I'm going to fill this up with unlit charcoal. Okay, charcoal's on. Let's get the grate on. Almost forgot. Got some hickory wood chunks right here. Just going to put that right in there. That will be more than enough, I'm sure. We're set up, ready to go. Let's get the lid on. And I'm going to leave both my vents, the top and bottom, wide open so we can let this hit 300 degrees. Once we hit that, I'll be back with you and we'll get the ribs on. Now we're going to let those cook for a little while, probably see again in a couple hours. In the meantime, I'm leaving both the bottom and the top vents wide open. If I need to adjust anything, if it starts to get too hot, that's okay. I'm not worried about it. Overall, we're cooking the ribs to tenderness, okay? Not worrying about temperature. We're not worrying about time. It's about tenderness. A lot of people ask, how long does it take to cook this or that? Cook it when it's tender, all right? I'll explain more to you about what that is regarding ribs later on in the video when it's time to do that. But see you soon. We're going to check on the ribs in just a moment. It's almost been an hour, but before we do that, I want to make up this whiskey ghost pepper glaze that we're going to use on those guys later on. So we've got some bourbon here. We've got some ghost pepper hot sauce. This is from earlsghost.com. But use whatever you like, okay? And this is the rub from Kent that we used earlier, okay? So first things first, we're going to get a cold saucepan right here, and we're going to put in a 1/2 cup of brown sugar right in there. Next we got a 1/4 cup of mustard, Again, use whatever you like. We've got some spicy brown mustard right here. 1/4 cup right in there. Next, we're adding 3 tablespoons of some apple cider vinegar. Then we've got a dash of salt. And next up, some ghost pepper sauce. Taste, but you know, let's see if we got any left in there. There we go. Okay, that's good. We can always add more later if we need to. Next, we're going to do a tablespoon of our rub. And last but not least, we're going to do 2 tablespoons of this bourbon right here. 1 and 2. Now you want to take this inside and you want to put this on the stove top and warm this up. You want to dissolve all the sugar in there. Just let everything mingle together. If it starts to boil, get it off the heat, but otherwise just let it cook for a little bit, get it off the heat when it's done, and you can let it cool until it's time to apply it to the ribs later on. Alright guys, it's been 2 hours since we put those ribs on. Let's take a look. These ribs are looking really nice, you guys. A couple hours in, I'm happy with that. I've got a spray bottle full of water here. I'm just going to hit it with a little bit of that. And I also have some of Kent's rub right here. And you know, just for the heck of it, let's check tenderness on these. You know what, not feeling too bad. These are actually, I'm surprised, these are feeling really good. So these are feeling really nice. I'm going to give it a bend test. So what you want to do is go about maybe halfway. And if the skin starts to crack, then you know it's done. Now, I haven't cooked baby backs in a long time, so they might be a little bit different with the bend test, because when I do the probe test, what you ideally want is to feel like it's going into soft butter, and we're really close to that right now. Tell you what, I'm just going to get the lid back on, and we're going to let this cook for, I'll give it another 30 minutes or so, maybe an hour. Lid, pardon me. It's been 30 minutes and I believe the ribs are done. So we've got 3.5 pound rack of ribs and it's cooked for 3.5 hours. Get the lid right over here. And I'm going to do another quick probe test. Folks, this is what you're looking for. Tenderness over temperature, over time. It's going in like soft butter. It's feeling really good. Alright, so I'm going to get these off the grill, and I've got my glaze out here. That's ready to go because we're going to glaze these immediately and serve them. Okay folks, let's hit it with the glaze. This is the trick with this glaze. You want to wait to the last minute to get it on the ribs there. Alright folks, let's slice this up. Whoop. close up there. You know what? I'm ready to try out those ribs. What do you think?
Ghost peppers, huh?
Yep, there's some ghost pepper in there.
Kent, huh?
And Kent. Yeah, Kent had a little something to do with this as well.
Yeah, this is going to be great.
I think it's going to be
spicy.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty spicy.
I'm a little
All right.
scared.
Martha, here you go. Here's one for you. I wish I had one for you guys out there. And one for me right here. Boom. And again, I want to say special thanks to Kent for letting us share his recipe for the rub on this. Without further ado, let's give it a try.
That's great.
All right, folks, there it is. Proof's in the pudding right there. All right.
That's super. You guys made magic together.
Mm-hmm.
That's so swell.
Now, I'm gonna get that. Pardon me, folks. Okay. Now, aside from the tenderness, which is great,
Super great.
Yep. I'm gonna say, man, the rub is really good. Nice flavor to that, Kent. Good job, man. I threw in a little Carolina Reaper powder in there.
It's spicy.
It is spicy. That comes through. And then with the glaze, adds a nice touch of tang.
Did you ghost pepper the glaze?
And there's a little bit of smoked ghost pepper hot sauce in there too. Yeah, so folks, we're going to get inside and finish these up. Listen, if you're a fan of heat and you like ribs, check out this recipe. And again, thanks to Kent. I'm going to put this paper towel down. Thanks to Kent. I'll have a link to his channel right down below. The recipe for everything right down there. It's awesome stuff. Thank you all for hanging out and spending some time with us. We love you. And we want to say until next time, smoke them if you got them.
That's right.
Bye-bye.